Hi, I'm Cassie Bartholomew. I am in charge of Young's Incentive in Washington. And I wanted to do a quick video because I wanted to go through the backup that you've been seeing for a while from me. I wanted to give you a step-by-step on how to go through it to approve it because we are starting this new process of a 3-day approval before we send it to payroll. As you saw in the blurb, attached is a copy of the incentives that ended in this last month that have been reconciled, and I'm submitting you for review. Please respond by a specific date, which I will enter in, which will be 3 days from when I send it to you, with approval or any concerns that you have. And then once I get your approval, they are going to be submitted to accounting for reconciliation and submitted to payroll to go on to sales checks. If I do not hear from you by the 3rd day, I'm going to assume that they are authorized and they're going to be submitted. So that's why I wanted to go through and show you a little bit more. So here is Disney's backup. Let me change this. So at the top of the file, you can see that it says Disney 100% supplier. And this is our check request that we use for accounting. It's going to be included, so I just want to explain it to you so you're not confused by it or have any questions. This is the subtotal, this is the tax, and this is the grand total. It tells you here that we're billing Disney the supplier for March 2018 incentives, 100% supplier cost. Now, if we changed it around, you can see how the numbers fluctuate. And if you scroll down, again, these are not numbers you need to check, but I know that since you're going to see it, I might as well tell you what it is. This is the department breakdown for accounting. On this next tab, rep roll-up, you can see what each rep has made. So you can either filter, if you know our team pretty well, you can see the teams. Here's their grand total, and then their each incentive and their total. And again, the invoice, bill back, the tax, and the grand total. And this shows you where it all comes from. And then each one of these boxes up here corresponds with these tabs down here. And these ones are green because they are recapped incentives and they're looking at the EID number. And that's for me to know that I've changed the formula to total over here. If you were wondering why they're green, that's why. So we're gonna go to the first one. This is the supplier name, Disney. It ran from January to March, but it was paid out monthly. So when an incentive says it is paid out monthly, I run it as only the month that I'm reconciling. So for this instance, it was March. I only ran the description for March because I've already ran it for January and February. And the program is cases sold. And was there a recap? There's no recap required, and the premise was on. And this measure is if it was being measured as a 9-liter case equivalent or a standard case. This payout double check here tells you that all of my awards here are totaling up to here. So 360, 360. So as we scroll down, this is a copy of a pivot table. So it was on-premise, branches multiples, and it's YM Steiner, YM Akiki, and YM Morrow, and the supplier. And then it tells you here, this is a sum of 9-liter cases, 9-liter cases. And then depending on how the incentive was written, this will either be the brand name, so brand name, or if it was ran down to the item level, it'd be items, and you'd see those here. Sales division is your DMs. Salesperson is going to be our sales reps. And this one was on an invoice. So this is the transaction date. And the way Diver breaks it down is year, month, day. So 2018, 03, 29. So that was March 29 of 2013. And the customer. Now, if it's a cases growth incentive, the customer will not be on there because it will only go down to the sales rep level. And then here's the period. And that is what I use on all incentives, whether there's transaction dates or not. But this tells you that all of these fall under 2018-03. So they're all March 2018. And usually at the end of this is where I start my formulas to calculate. And so this is all the raw data. And that is then put over here into a pivot table where you have the sales rep's name. And it's going to be the sum of the invoices with 2 cases for this one. Or if it was a new placement, it'd be the sum of new placements. So you can see how many new placements each rep got. Or if it was cases, how many cases they sold, because usually there's multiple brands, and then we'll total them all up. And then here's the award. You can usually see my formulas when you click into a cell to see how they're being calculated, which just was $20 per 2 cases sold on 1 invoice. So any invoice that had 2 cases got a 1. So then I can just multiply the invoices times 20. And that will give me my total. And that's going to go all the way down. And it could just continues on with other incentives throughout. Here's all your descriptions that you can double check, and the teams that were being paid as well. So if there's an X next to it, it's off, on, or chains and clubs. Now, this is a recapped incentive. And what happens is the sales reps give me, they submit this sheet, which has lots and lots and lots of incentives on it. And it's all recapped incentives that then go into a pivot table to make it a lot neater for payout. And so here is where it's their EEID, which is their employee number. And I've added this month the account description for the incentive and their estimated payout. And with displays, it is required to be within CPG. And so the DM has verified that and submitted this to me, and this is the payout, and it's green. So I know this EID is being paid out $24 on the rep roll-up, and all of that comes here to be totaled. So what I will do is I will send you your file. I'll ask you to review it and send me an approval within 3 days. And again, if I do not hear from you, I will assume that it is approved. I will assume that it is approved. If you have any questions, please reach out to me. I do not want to make this scary. I know a lot of people don't like numbers. I live in worksheets all day, so I love them, and I'd love to explain to you more. I hope that this helps you actually review the incentives, and can't wait to get working. Thank you so much for helping us streamline the process. It's been a lot of changes with incentives this month, and I am very excited about these changes, and I hope you are too. Thanks. Bye.